Hello everyone, I'm Luxen and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to update my manager mode tactics because most people were asking me what are your new tactics and the old tactics aren't working anymore. That sometimes it works, but personally talking, it didn't work for me anymore. So I did some changes and I think that right now I have not the perfect tactics, but really good tactics in order to reach FIFA champion. Okay, first of all, we need to know which team we are using. Okay, as you can see, my team is really good, but especially the formations, it isn't like the other ones in only 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Now we can use the 4-3-1-2 for obviously the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. It's one of my favorite formations, but you can use as well three defense formations, 4-3-3s, etc. I mean, it doesn't matter that much this time because I really like more generic. Some important things are that you need to have minimum one fullback that if you are using for defenders, minimum one fullback who is more defensive. For example, my team it's Capdevila. The midfielders, the most box to box are the better because, for example, I have Llorente, Touré, and Gullit. Gullit is a box to box. Llorente is kind of more offensive, box to box as well. And then we have Touré that it's like the holding midfielder. And then a minimum one player with really good passing and vision, for example, Pele, Llorente is in my team, and minimum one striker who is like really good in a real game and physical game. Like in my team is Drogba and Haaland. I always use that type of strikers, especially because how Mario mode works. Okay, then we have the tactics. Obviously, the tactics are way simpler, and I'm going to explain everything. Okay, first of all, in the build-up, we have reduced the speed from 3 to 1, sorry, from 3 to 2, in order to don't go that fast and lose the ball faster. Okay, the point of this team is holding the position as long as possible because if you hold the possession, you have more chances of scoring, and your opponent has less chances of scoring. Obviously, the most time you have the ball, the better. Then, obviously, we have the passing distance in 1. If you're losing, you can set up in 2, or if you are trying to, if you're facing, for example, a team that it's not that physical and doesn't have that good central backs, you can always use 2 in order to get longer balls. And for example, from the defenders to the strikers, um, it's really good. Then positioning in 3 in order to get all the players to participate in goals and have more chances. Then in offense, maybe you realize that this is really changed. Okay, passing tendency in 2, not 3, because mainly there was an issue with the older tactics. That was that players didn't shoot most times, and it was like, oh jeez, and you get really nervous because you can see that it's facing in a 1v1, and he suddenly passes back for no reason instead of shooting. Then a cross tendency in 1, you can obviously get it into 2 if you're losing, and shooting tendency in 1 as well to avoid mainly that a kind of shots from the midfield that most players do for some reason. And then positioning in 3 as well, in order, as said, to get the most attackers possible and score the most goals. For example, in my team, all the midfielders, all the players are participating, even the fullbacks are scoring goals sometimes. And as said, if you're losing, set everything in 2, maybe passing tendency E3 or 1 even, and then to make comeback. And then in the defense, this is the thing that changed the most because pressure and aggression has been reduced, as if you remember my other tactics. And this is because most times, imagine you are in a 1v1 or 2v1 with your defenders, and your defender rushed into the ball, and then he didn't take the ball, he didn't recover the ball, and then it was a 1v1. And that isn't the thing, or that isn't a thing or a situation we want to face in manager mode because most players doesn't miss that kind of chances. Okay, and then the width a bit higher because most people is playing with wingers right now. So actually, Di Maria, Luis Diaz, Messi, Mbappe, and all these type of players who are really fast and really agile are breaking every kind of defense. And then the back line, obviously, in cover, no offside traps because now with the high values or high stats in passing, they avoid that trap most times, or even some strokers with that trade. So that's everything you need to know about my new tactics. Obviously, you can adjust for your team, use the formations, test, and if you have any kind of doubt, you can contact me on Full Mobile Discord. Maybe on Twitter, I may answer some questions. And that's everything. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you like it, you can like and subscribe, and see you next time. Goodbye.